Hello my friends, it's Nina, and for this video we're talking about bullet journals. This video has been highly requested for a very long time, so I in no way am a bullet journal expert, nor do I intend to be, but I am a person that uses a bullet journal, and so I thought maybe this video will be useful to someone. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to finally show you my minimalist, very simple bullet journal setup. I'm warning you guys right now, my bullet journal setup is extremely simple, to the point where you guys might be like, Nina, that is too simple, and you're right. But this system works for me. It has worked for, well, actually I used this specific system for like a few months now, but it's been very useful. It's helped me be consistent and it does the job. You can be more complex with your themes, or you can be very simple. Whatever it is, in my life, a bullet journal has been very useful, and so I use it every single day, basically. If you are like me, and you only have 2 brain cells, then this is the bullet journal system for you. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So first, I'm going to talk about the materials that I use, obviously, because we gotta start somewhere. So the most important thing is your bullet journal. This is a dotted hardcover notebook. It is this brand. I've used this one bullet journal for about 1.5 to 2 years. I've used this much and I have this much to go. Because this is a dotted notebook, the pages have literal dots. I feel like compared to grids and lines, this just allows for more creative freedom, and it's just lighter on the eye basically because you're going to be drawing a lot on this. This bullet journal also comes with an index in the front, and in the back it has this nice little folder so you can tuck in stickers and whatever you want. So this is the one that I use. And then on to the stationery that I use, I like to have markers. Markers are definitely a great part of bullet journaling. It allows for colors and themes and all that. Honestly, you could just use Crayola, Super Tips, or whatever is available to you. These are just markers that I happen to have, and they are dual tip, so there is a nice chisel tip on top and then a fine tip on the other side. So I like these Crayola Super Tips. There are literally like, what, 100 something colors? Those are great. Find whatever suits you. I have other mild liners that I got a nice set of them. The more variety, the better. I have a nice pastel, and then more pastels, and then other pastels, and then bright colors. And then alongside markers, I also use gel pens. These are 0.38 tip pens from Muji. I like to have different colored pens for different uses. I just have the standard black, blue, and red. And then also I like to have a ruler. This is a 6-inch ruler, and this just helps me get those straight lines. You can do freehand, but I don't trust myself. So these are all the materials that I need for my bullet journal system. Everyone has a different system, but if you don't know where to start, this is where I start. So now that I've talked about my materials, I'm going to quickly break down my system. So I do my bullet journal every month, and I basically get it all done in one day. It takes me about 1 to 2 hours to do. First, I have my month, which takes up 2 pages, and then right after that, I have my habit tracker. I'm gonna mention real quick that some of my bullet journal was inspired by my friend Amanda Rach Lee on YouTube. At first, I didn't have a habit tracker or a brain dump or any of that, but she inspired me to add those because they're kind of useful actually. So shout out to Amanda for the bullet journal inspo. She is literally a bullet journal queen. But after my month, I have 1 page for a habit tracker. I track about 9 to 12 habits. Is that a lot? For me, no. And then on the page right next to the habit tracker, I have a brain dump, which is basically a blank page. I just jot down ideas here, maybe like a grocery list, things I want to buy, songs that I found, books I want to read, all of that just goes in here. And then after my brain dump, I go in with my weekly setup. I actually do all of my weekly setups in one sitting just because it's so simple that I don't have to wait every single week to do it. I used to do that, but out of efficiency, I just do it all at once. You can definitely take it one by one and just do it every single week. And then after I do the weekly setups, I reserve 2 pages for my reflection for the month. So this basically serves as my diary for the month. I only need 2 pages because I'm not writing something every single day, but if there's just one day where I just want to write down my feelings, I will. Sometimes I'm a thoughtful person and I like to write my feelings down. So now that I've briefly explained my bullet journal setup, it is finally time to actually do it. So the angle is going to change. I'll see you closer to my bullet journal. Alright you guys, now it's finally time to get into actual bullet journaling. Here are my supplies. We're gonna get into this. For August, I usually think of like red or green, but I already did green and I kind of wanted to try this nice corally red color, so I'm gonna go with this. And then these colors are going to be kind of like the accents. I do like to have multiple colors. And then I also do need my gray mild liner. I like using gray because I like using gray. So my header usually takes up 2 lines because I want that font to be big. So I'm going to just do 2 lines there. And then I'm gonna write out August 2019. Is that how you spell August? I like to write the marker first, and then I'm just gonna finish it off. It's a little crooked over there, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna drag it out so it's just one long header. Let's not mess up. There we go. And then with my black pen, I'm just gonna write August. I kind of like to add these hearts to make it look like tiny washi tape. You can also use a symbol for August, but I like hearts. Now I'm just going to write out August. And there we go. I'm just going to make it a little fancier. Kind of looks like a nice little watercolor effect. That's why I like these markers. Now we're going to move on to the tedious part, but it's relaxing for me, which is the lines. So I'm hoping my explanation for lines isn't too complicated. Basically, the days take up one line. Each day's box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 rows by 6 columns. And then I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks because there are typically 5 weeks in a month. I'm just gonna check real quick how many days are in August. Yes, it's August 6th. Yes, I'm doing this late. Is that a problem? No. So fortunately, there are 5 weeks of the month. Sometimes a month will have 6 by accident, but for this month we have 5, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just gonna have my phone kind of here. So right after my header, we're going to skip a row and then go on basically 1, 2, 3, the third line. You'll see right here. I'm just gonna mark it with a dot. And then I'm going to the last dot over here. We're not going to cross over. That's going to look messy. We're not adding anything here. We're going to kind of just separate it. The row for the days is only 1 row, and then after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. Yes, and then you'll have 4 rows on the bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5. Perfect, and it ends right here. So this is going to make Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I start my weeks with Sunday. Some people start with Monday. And then that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we have our month laid out. So here we go, no pressure. Also, if you do know how to freehand, go for that, but I do not trust myself and I want my lines to be nice and straight. We're going to go for it. Whoosh. Yes. There we go. I really should not have had coffee. My hands are shaking. Nice. Going to do the same thing over here. Be careful not to go all the way because this is only 3 days. So it's going to end right here. We're going to have this blank space for our goals in future. And then one final line. Kind of makes me nervous that nothing's gone wrong yet. Yes. Messed up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. And now we have our calendar. It's 7 by 5. Now back to our markers. We're going to fill 2 boxes with a color, just like that, right in the center. And then now I'm going to add a line here and then a line here. And this is going to be our goals and futures section. And then on the bottom here with gray, I'm just going to add another little section. Here I just like to put in my YouTube. And then for the days, I'm going to go in with my markers again and then make little marks for the days. And on this first corner box, I'm going to use gray. And then there's a little space for the date. This is going to be where the number is. So I like using gray because these days are not part of August. So I'm not going to use the coral red. And now we're going on with red to do the rest of the numbers. There we go. It is literally the most simple thing, but here it is. Now that it has dried a decent amount, we are going to write the days. So from July we have the 28th and then the 29th, and then now we start with the 1st. Now I have this little blank space here, and that is where I add a little key or legend. One is for friends and family, one is for YouTube, one is for events/important. So for this month, I'm not going to use these colors. I'm going to use what was available here. So I'm going to use these 3 colors. I think they are cute. Can you like stay in there, please? Yay. Yes, so this is my little key for the month. And then you could add more colors for different things you need, but personally I only need these 3 to track. But as you can see, if it's a birthday, I underline it with that color. I am going to kcon on this day, and then this day, and this day I'm coming back. And I think for this I'm just going to kind of do it like this. Yes. What else did I have going on in August? I can't really think of it off the top of my head. But this is what my month looks like. It's very simple, but it gets the job done. Next, we are moving on to the habit tracker. Now this part is extremely tedious. Now because I did my July setup so late, I didn't fill anything out, but I did at least want to do it so I have an idea for August. For my habit tracker, I track YouTube, Instagram, exercise, vitamins, iron, walking my dogs, watering Junie, skincare, and studying Korean. Track whatever habits you want, but this is what I'm going to do. I like to make these boxes for the month as well. Personally, this is what I like for my eye. So we have 4 dots and 4 dots here. Skipping a row, 4, and then we're going to write habit tracker. Hopefully this fits nicely. Nice and symmetrical. So that is our header. Going to just make this a little fancy again. Done. I am going to breeze through this step, but basically we're making 7 by 5 boxes again, and then we're making these simple rows for the headers of our trackers. So hopefully you guys will figure out the spacing, but basically I'm skipping 1 column and then going in with 7 columns here, and then I'm skipping 2 columns, 7, 2, 7, skipping 2 rows. You'll figure it out, but I am going to fast forward through this part. And there is our little habit tracker. It's so cute. You guys, if you guys know how to freehand, please do that. There we have our habits. So we are canceling out these days. And then just to emphasize that these days are not being used, we're going to cross them out. Now I will show you how I actually use these habit trackers. Today is the 6th, so we are on this day. So I uploaded a video on this day. I'm gonna add a dot there. I think that's good for now. So this was our brain dump. It's literally a blank page, but we are going to add this header. And this is literally the easiest page. Just leave this blank. You will fill it up throughout the month, hopefully. Now we are doing our weekly layout, and this is a horizontal weekly spread. We're going to steadily freehand this. Yes! So that basically means we're going to skip 8, and then here is the next day, I hope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Yes, okay, we're going to continue. God, can I make straight lines, please? Oh my god, I moved the camera. And that is 1 week. It is very simple, very practical. So we're going to write the day first. I like to make each letter take up a column. So Sunday, comma, space, and then this is July 28th. So it would have made sense to make these gray, but that is okay. And this is basically what I do for the next few weeks. So we finished the 5 weeks of August. Jeez, there are so many weeks. We are going to finish with our reflections. And this again is very easy. We are just going to make our simple header again. I keep moving the camera. This is why I'm not a bullet journal channel. August reflections. Now these are just 2 blank pages and you can just write whatever to your heart's content. Kind of make this like a personal little diary so that it's not all about just tasks. And then after each month, if I just want to add pages of random stuff, there's plenty of space to do it before the next month. For instance, after July, I wanted to make a page on my Enneagram, and so that's what I did because I had space. And then I moved on to August. I guess as an example, I will plan out my day today. So first off, we have a task, and my first task I guess I'll put walking my dogs. Although this isn't really a task, I do this every single day so I don't have to remind myself. And because I finished it with red, I'm going to check it off. I like having a check mark system. There we go. So that task is done. Ooh, I do have to change my license plate. I will write that down. Film random bullet journal video. Let's say for instance I wanted to film another video on the same day, but I didn't get around to doing it because I got tired for some reason. Let's see. Because I didn't do it today, I'm just going to cross it out. Maybe I should have crossed it out with red, but you get the point. And then of course I can plan in the future. So on this day I want to upload a video. So upload bullet journal video. Hopefully I can get it up on Wednesday. If it's up on Wednesday, this is right. And then if you just want to write random notes, I just like putting a bullet point there. Package came. And then smiley face, because I've been waiting for this package. And then you could add something for the future. I like to use an exclamation point. Sometimes I like to do hearts as well. Another smiley face. I just like to add whatever I want. But I did film a bullet journal video, so I'm going to check this off. And then if I have a reflection, then I will write it down. For instance, I'm going to reflect on today. Sometimes I like to write down the time just because if I'm reading this in the future, I don't know, I want to see what I was thinking at that time. And that's my reflection for that day. And then I can add on to it whenever. So now here is my entire bullet journal setup. Here is my month. I have my habit tracker, my brain dump. I have my weekly layouts, which are extremely simple. And then after all that, I have my August reflections. And then if I have pages that I want to make, there are plenty of pages for that. And then eventually I will start my next month, which is September. And then after a long 1 to 2 hours, you are finally done with your bullet journal for the month. I warned you guys, this is very simple, very minimal, but it has helped me for the last few months. And so this is the system that I stick by. Also, I am highly caffeinated right now. My hands and body and brain were like shaking during this entire video, but we got through it. It really is a relaxing process to do every month, just taking the time to get your life together, plan out what you have in the future, see what you've done, and it's great for my brain cells. But I hope that this was useful for you, especially if you're starting out with a bullet journal. I used to be afraid of bullet journals back in high school. I would try to keep one, but I would overcomplicate it and not be consistent. But when I was in college, I used a bullet journal almost every single day. I kind of lived by a bullet journal, and I still do, especially after college. You still have to figure your life out and all that. Whether you like a minimal style or whether you like a complex, beautiful one full of doodles and all that. I hope that you enjoy bullet journaling, and I hope that it actually helps you. Find a system that works for you, and don't be overwhelmed or underwhelmed by a bullet journal. It's there to just help your life. Thanks for watching and bullet journaling with me, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye, my friends.